Now it's to Upton's on the share of the arena. Roma making their first competitive visit to Scotland in over 70 years, since the European Cup semi-final against Dundee United in 1984. So when we get on Roma, who they change strict this evening. Heralded win eaten by the two of them. How did it defeats the van suffered in the competition so far. With a positive start in their travels. It's been a lot of live in European road already for Rangers, having come through 3 runs of Champions League qualifiers and suffered so notably at the hands of the Blugger in the final. They might do a little bit better about them, given their performance against Barcelona last night. But starting from Old Firm, the League Cup semi-final in the unexpected lowly position in the Scottish Premiership. Can they raise themselves to what might be a special night? One friendly meeting in the Austrian Alps 21 years ago. Now a record between these two, when his predecessor, Edward Christ, had noted European black there himself as a player. He made a team to a third friendly victory. Then Joe Nova, inspirational. It's picked up here by Dudley. And this morning, Glasgow for his penalty. Here, Turin. There's Pellegrini. This for me at Danny there with shape. The 31ers watch Sheffield Wednesday under his tutelage. It's a system they recognise. Mikey Mel operating his from inside left position. Gassana the other side. Tyler Began is doing it at Paris Saint-Germain. And Antrini, who is the sense of adventure from centre back, but upside on this occasion. So similar systems with those. And the Gasparini wearing the ship there is a totally recognisable one, but they think not about defensive solidity. It must be said that the Nirjo attacking exuberance, not giving much away. And there's a predecessor that's on John the stands. Always a welcome presence at any football ground. The wonderful man, Tadio Ranieri. Whenever everything less than a privilege to be in his contact. Left scan. Now a chance for Mikey Moore. This is upon it. By searching to bring which needed some urgent defending by indeed. The hang back. I think Sule might see it differently. The standard energy they need Rangers in that kind of area. Tiny play by Shamiti. Dasama tangling and tassling. And it's been the fair challenge by Amosa. And Chavalier makes the header. I have to say, it didn't seem from where but looking to be a lot wrong with that. Gassana the French Angel Di Maria that is senior debut, and shown a few seconds as part of the front three for PSG that included Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. It's starting at the top. It's down to Joey. Turned into a stop in. There was certainly not to see no songs. It's a foul by Pan. And the advancing machine. It's an apparent to the bow you can take. So it. And she didn't get his body betrayed in the middle. It's a Pellegrini. Pellegrini is a voice to win that, and it needs defending, and that Chumiti is very willing to do exactly that. Give a thought to his thing recently against John Hopkins. That's why we're doing that. Kevin so well and felt that sharing the hierarchy now has a lot of faith in. Cristante coming to the near post. It was well defended by Suter. Sabicheric. To Sule. But it's I finished on John Suter. I expect to find out work tonight. It's been intriguing, actually. The Daily Road has talked about the Roma pressing style associated with Gasparini, but it's been intriguing, certainly in the European games this season, how lacking in dynamism they've been at times. But Mancini does do that. It was an adroit pass by Zeki Chenin. Chris Fenton. Should have stayed in the nose for the rest of his days, such as his legendary status at Atalanta. They don't hear it. The hard work done to him now. The head puncher there. Terrific result for him in the Champions League this week. Certainly a successful venture to French soil in their thirst. That the permanent champions Barry Saint-Germain. Just to point out the leadership in Italy, not been for some time. Waiting, I suppose, to really did the height. Well, that's not true. Giga didn't get there, but fortunately for him, he had Suter sweeping up very effectively. Last time Roma came to Scotland to face a team from this nation, it was a major disappointment. At 2-0 defeat at the ground that became known as Fedice, Tannadice Park in Dundee against Dundee United, through that wonderful European exploits during that period under Jim McLean. He lost 2-0. But in the home second leg of the semi-final, they overcame that deficit to play it home in the final of the ultimate showpiece against Olympic. So who lives that final on penalties. And I guess Daguerreau has followed his parent from Sheffield Wednesday to Glasgow. A bit of a different check here from the set piece. And Gassama trying to make it in rather. Again, the home. Who's gotta be cute about it. There's any sort of major contact. It is going to result in a free kick being conceded. It's the right idea in terms of pressing and hurrying. It's already a terrific sense of when to possession turns for Roma, and Manant. And they look slightly unsettled at the back there, Rangers. Bristante, stepping into his 70s in percentage terms, won already. A notable little sweep to their defensive setup, allowing Mancini no freedom to go on the rampage, I suppose. Having moved out from the centre of the back three. Valerio has been stationed a lot. As Persi's detective there. This is Sule. Another Tuga doing a foot in. Player on loan from Milpountain Wanderers. The referee's delivery was a cuddle. And so was noise of it. Salah coming up at the back post. Ronaldo a turned practical possession into our lead. Well, Sule ghost again. The first contact one sung well by Cristante. And nobody picked him up. Mancini might have had one, but Sule was on hand to make absolutely certain. First goal in European competitions, Lauren. And over to Saber. Yeah, organised about the defending. Yeah. Must have been a chase. First at home, I did see that against Victoria. Positioning of Ascarin. And yet particularly tightly. I know, he's certainly potent enough in the challenge there. It's too late. A little bit of a buzz about them, how that was a great run by Giallorossi, but ticked off by very well occupied John Suter. Check in low by Nova. Well, that could have been a killer boom. Really could have been. And Mikey Moore certainly got the picture. Tough that traditionally it wasn't well disposed to things of should follow him talent, and then many of mine started catching out to know us. What? They go up and then they bring a run up perspective. They've not capitalized. It was a pretty. What else going on there? Sunikas and I'm also in a mess. And it's not been most favourable on angle is fortunate. Can't quite find the inside of that foul burst. Number 0.3 through. Brisk business like here from Roma. Cherry flying forward. Sule. And also involved in the attack out. Tristante. Sule. Tristante again. Sintiken. Shooter holding off the threat, the dog bit. There's certainly been bemoaning once again their laxity, the dead ball. They need to be more alive than they are presently bringing Rangers. There's again deciding something for Shimiti to counter. So again, there no shows Latin. Taking lead, moment defenders turned and facing their own goal has to be a significant part of the strategy. Try and go and turn around quickly. Seven is deliberate. It's constantly called Bistante. Ballerin. And Spillard with his first business of the night. Sule. Mancini. and so tried Isaac moving for a return. He must have done too many favours there. Made it easy for Nasser Cheetah. And there's a one set of the European experience behind him. Hardy nice and go. Running a typical night for Rangers, but who are the two and there's been so much a part of his life. Inviting Trummy to the door. No, there's something to turn, pulling the man. Vicheli. So hey, the freak should have been kind. The Putland's in the right place. People decide to argue that Sule got into a shooting position far too easily. And imagine Butland would concur with that. But he did his job, and Rangers have to do theirs a lot better from this set piece. Similar recipe. And also holding his head. Again, Roma able to make the first contact, but again, it could. A relative amount of comfort. It's a different type of delivery. You surely said he should have done better with it. No, I agree. There's Simicats. It's a good idea by Zerkic just to move it on quickly. Chiga able to deal with the danger. It's a pretty extraordinary situation, and the tougher the Scottish League at the moment. They lightly domination of the major Glasgow clubs could be set to end. And Rangers being 5 points off Celtic at this point in time, which I'm sure they are, would be something that they would thought generally be prepared to accept, but they're actually 14 behind Heart and Midlothian. Terrific start. And 20 years ago at the George Verdi Tuma Hitchurch in Scotland play. The very close call in 1986. They squandered an opportunity to win a league in Dublin. Sule. And Schwartz just looking round, and it seems they might have committed a foul, but he's acting really well there. Wesker. It's fair to say that relationship between Giallorossi and Arting was a little strained. Gassan. Mikey got up worse than you, didn't it? Also a little bit close. On the side of potential here for Rangers again. It's the two champions, if you like, whatever you want to call them. Threatens to combine. It's a death thing. That's United man. It's Neil. Okay, straight if they was good job there against such a it's the learn. They're playing in and just the back of the head of the Suki Giallorossi is not in the mood to take chances. It's created one here for Rangers. By Cristanto, and the powers of disappointment already filling the air. Jamiti, one quite long for Gassa. Mighty on stretching and faded. Don't you thinking my found millions again? Orange challenges on that other Ukrainians not been impressed with. Possibly the greatest from Simicas, was it? Mikey more piety to the hand in the back there. That certainly made it more difficult for him to win that header. Chini. Some honest. European goals for us this season. 3-0 against Leeds. But scored by Semton. But I told the story. What a go, Matt. Right there and that. Usher and Martin doing well. They were together at Southampton. And Spaniowski. Such a great record on Scottish soil with Aberdeen. Been in to La Liga. It's Soulé. There's something a little different here. Although the pass is delivered from almost the same area. And Moso, Dogbik, Cristante. Net from Chabanir, a little laid back from Dogbik, and he said he didn't catch it as he would have wished Ryan Cristante. från den Cherry Rangers som soldier. Into the Sulain center. Play Thursday run retention target so Renners to rescue. Maybe done by Nigel Mooney. Tavernier. Kincaid from Manchester to Simicans. Oh, now chance for margin. Why interesting kind of thinking. Dobb makes cutting a lonely figure here. The back-foot centre. Pamphletic Fokker been sibling last. And both head coaches are having their, well, have been having their say in the last few nights. There's the tussle. Two big fellas. Rangers haven't had great fortune typically against Italian opposition, but are some treasured nights. The mid-year of Fiorentina dramatically penalties in the way to the final away to Cup 2008. European success against Dinamo Mester in the Cup Winners' Cup in '72. Following on that he tweeted a memorable night against Torino. Right. The amount of work to do. It's this is to then when that kind of well, those kind of footsteps. I was just having a word a little while ago with Matthias Sule. Technical instruction was telling rather some of these periods of animation. Sule was able to guide it on despite feeling he was impeded. He said he feels he's suiting up to make that with Dobb Bigley, I think. In Aaron's can't find a way. It's Simicans. Dobby. Third reading. Simicas. That's that Shuni. Hazel, I know you'd made the thrust. In the line. Right, there's only to get on with. Held by Pellegrini. Away, duck back. Oh, well done away from me. very much in every moment. It's for a spoon out reward from Rangers at the moment. In terms of their building front, the match. 105 tests. Can be that impressive press. For Stan Tate. That's actually worked out. He's found Godfrey. Well, it's a beautiful finish. Hand-grenade. Many can soil the credit to Art and Doppy. Shot to finding the perfect layoff. And it's a match into Clive to Rangers. Just shy of 10 minutes before half-time. The patience, then the thrust, but then the question. Don't think the offside is in any way significant. The top back with some great work. Turned back. First extra Pellegrini. Oh, his quarter made the first. He has scored the second, and there is a sense now of total control. To Shemita, actually left standing. Gassama. Sound on the head. Left scan. Right, I'm trying to take it on. Pellegrini on the defensives. It's only found Gassala, who tricks himself up under the challenge of Zivagas. Fits it right hard by Gassa. And sure did something. Oh, that's paired by that Shahad of it. March and all. Gassa providing that bit of flash of inspiration, but did the Rangers supporters some encouragement. Showcase. Well, so, I need your defenders to shine and do their dirty work, if you like, at times. And Mancini did exactly that here. Mikey Moore arriving at a rapid rate, but Mancini spotting the danger, dealing with the danger, and preserving their sense of comfort. Doing his own back layer on Ndika. No fun sport, and he wrote about wearing the traditional club suit on the touchline, and very dapper he looks too, although his predecessor decided for his own reasons not to show in that particular tradition, which did not help this cause. Venosa and Giassana then chose proximity again. He can't do that and expect to get away with it. Dodwich makes a corner. Erskine with the apologetic Kieran. So there may still be harm to come. Was show some gratitude there to John Suter. And Dick is up there, Mancini dancing around the place. Dick of beaten through it and completes the job. Temperature is Gianniti, Snickers. Certainly that's on the same side of the pitch at present. And cheating. Not particularly authoritative from Nives Villa. Chicken. And that's the challenge on them, which it was a Rangers free kick. Reach it to the bottom and then Berthy. You read that in Taden. That's a notice state, this time by Mikey. Sule are in the retrieve the situation. Just trying to set the standards to set the tone. There's an element of this being just a little bit too easy for Roma. Set. Riz with sudden youth is spark in the Rangers ranks if they can get it right. Captain Sana and hiking over in Bullens in particular. And that sounds why you have, but Sana's at the list. It's up against Hermoso, who's not looked at his most comfortable dealing with him. That's why I have to resort to back down event. They either nearly can't win the battle. It's tremendous play. We might get the free kick he wants. Kenny might have sailed a little earlier and stayed on his street. And now Rangers have to be wary about the counter thrust. Joel Britt. If you see some up again. It's Sule. Well, they were smells again. They did in the end get numbers behind the ball. That could have ended, I mean, but then back for Rangers. Topic. Not able to sign the Koi Cristante in a more threatening position, and Sule unable to find the target. Look at this battling here. Well, to be fair, Sheriff Fatimode in foul. It's this ball if I'm not so sure. So it was certainly a raging battle between the pair of them, and he was on the side come through initially as I thought, but he certainly does have the ability to speed across the court and the guile to worry them. The Curtis Walls of the house, which has seen that take control. Rangers exposed to the set piece again. Matthias Sule, the grateful beneficiary. Pellegrini shiring home the second. Only a couple of stairs at the other end. A brilliant drop by Gianluca Mancini keeping the sheet clean. Half time in Glasgow. Rangers 0, Roma 2. Well, spicy McNuggets affordable. Tumbali lighting. Nitamba. Hey, sweet chili sauce. Yampa smellies. Memang pasti. Dikin dengan balik lagi. When spicy might be the desian. Dikin balik lagi. Good multiply. Champion dan moon. So now, plan derby. So by both Sky and my name till night and picture they can hold me. Meaning tending instead I know, passiamo e devo giocare più di cornea. Sempre hanchaya, più von keep temperature di. Finally, minutes. The day begins from the one menu. Yes, that's not sit down. It's Bill second half say, they what did that? If I'm Saturdays, they video, or just as a fight, fluffy with an take up and don't we did on the Terry Tap, they bring there. So they can bond and help me. Just go back and stable. I did that. Now, that's what I don't know if it's bottle was what I never know about all, which I had to know the Desert Battle and they put Bunny Battle up about in and get to the Thunder Boys to learn. Somebody kind of said it that is the PD, you will hang out, not the need of going. There you go, they daddy, hey, put in, the video, but I'm Giallorossi, that's why I'm masing untuk memberikan informasi. Dan terima kasih untuk komentar dan cerita, tapi selama semangat 100%. Kopi tapang lapin, jangan lebih enak. Let's be in doing it. I take out. They will then get ahead of money alone. So now, flower by leg. At what did he go? So very nice. There is some been done there. This is special go. That's in Magic 5. Legs out. Kid of Dan. The anti-bed law. Chairman bawa perubahan lain was dalam bermakap. Aku percaya sama suami kau bo. Dan tidak ni boleh punya kuentam. Tapi setiap orang berasa dia masing-masing untuk memberikan yang terbaik. Dan terima kasih untuk kamu yang tidak tercerita, tapi selalu semangat 100%. Kopi kapal api, jangan skepin, Pemberhentian terakhir para selebriti di ajang Tosi Season 4 membandingkan juara ketiga dalam cabur. For the mixed doubles, Benita Ari pada Valentini versus Devina Kinaboy, Abipati Doka pada women's double. Atizat Chelsea and the Bolshevia, Winston Shekin Yasmi, Talapadis, pada base double. Hagas Nidza at the Hanida versus Gerard Yohannes, Ryan McKenzie. Newton gets this double. However, Chandra will tell you, Winston Pelafayata, Dennis Isabo, Stefan Lopole. Satsika hit Mamid Olaha gets a repeat Indonesia season 4. Sabtu 2 November, pukul 12.30 live dari Golden Angel on Hamia di STTV. Momen panas, bikin kelihatan bau badan. Bakar eksperimen high school via teknologi 72 jam setiap hari dan wawancara. Lanjut kelas 23 Indonesia paling sodamen. Setiap orang berdasarkan latihan masing-masing untuk memberikan yang terbaik. Terima kasih untuk kamu yang tidak bercerita, tapi selalu semangat 100%. Kopi kapan laping? Jangan skeping endang. Ya, saya sudah ready dimanapun Anda berada. Baru tadi Anda menyaksikan jalannya pertandingan awal pertama dan dua gol yang masing-masing diciptakan oleh Sulit dan juga Lorenzo Pellegrino, sementara membuat tim tamu ASRoma bola atas tuan rumah Rangers dengan skor sementara 0-2. Saya mau langsung ke Bames. Anda sana di babak pertama tadi. Ya, kalau kita lihat pada babak pertama tentu harapan kita besar pun Rangers siap main tuan rumah, ingin meraih hasil buruk, tetapi nyatanya mereka kesulitan. Dia tidak ada ide, jarak terlalu lebar, akhirnya ini berhasil dimanfaatkan dengan baik oleh ASRoma. Oke, apa yang membuat lepas dari tadi apa yang membuat pemain Rangers ini sulit berkembang sepanjang babak pertama? Itu hal yang paling penting adalah mereka tidak bisa menguasai bola. Oke, mereka tidak bisa keluar dari area sendiri. Akhirnya mereka memilih untuk lomba. Ini kenapa? Karena ASRoma melakukan pressure dengan intens dengan 3 pemain di depan. Ya, akhirnya pilihan dari Rangers tidak banyak. Diambil mereka hanya lomba dan mereka lomba. Harapannya adalah ASRoma pada kesalahan dan mereka bisa menciptakan peluang. Sedangkan ASRoma bermain lebih sistematis, bermain dari kaki ke kaki, dan juga pergerakan dari gelandang dan juga fullback juga sangat dinamis. Tapi strategi yang berdasarkan atasan long ball itu akhirnya saya melihat sepanjang bakul yang itu. Pertama, Yosef Simendi ini seperti menjual sendirian dari tempat. Ya, long ball yang diharapkan bisa membuahkan peluang itu tadi memberikan jarak yang sangat besar karena pemain belakang masih ada di belakang, ya main fullback siap. Bola sudah dikirimkan dan akhirnya ketika bola sampai di depan hanya ada 1-2 pemain Rangers yang ada di sana. Oke, kalau kita juga akan lihat highlight dan gol-gol yang terjadi di babak pertama untuk melawan Rangers tapi namanya ASRoma dia. Oke, ini peluang ada lumayan banyak jadi kalau babak pertamanya gol yang diciptakan oleh Sulit di menit 13. Ya, ini hal yang tidak boleh terjadi kalau tiap ada di set piece. Kenapa? Karena pemain free itu harap pemain di sana. Karena biasanya di sepak bola harus ada orang, setiap pemain harus ada harga man to man. Oke, dan tadi kita lihat ada peluang yang diciptakan oleh Rangers tapi sempat kita akan lihat ini peluang dari Roma. Ya, beberapa kali ternyata Roma berhasil melakukan shooting dengan mudah di depan gawang Rangers, di mana Rangers lebih banyak menunggu dan tidak bereaksi terhadap. Oke, kembali ini peluang dimiliki oleh tim tamu Roma berkali-kali ya. Kita bisa melihat baik dari Pellegrini, Solé, kemudian Zeki Calik yang beberapa kali masuk dan gol dan diciptakan oleh Pellegrini di menit ke-36 ini asis dari Dovnik tentunya. Nah, yang menarik di sini adalah peran dari Artem Dovnik ya, karena berapa kali dia menjadi target pas, tetapi justru bola itu dipas lagi sama dia dan berhasil menjadi asis. Ya, dan ini kembali peluang yang diciptakan oleh Rangers. Saya melihat ada 2 peluang yang harus berbeda sebelum membahas peluang dan sini kembali. Cari saja waktu ketika tercipta untuk Roma, namun sayang momentum hilang. Akhirnya itu tidak ada kaki terbaik itu biasanya kalau di malah itu. Ya, ini statistik yang terjadi di babak pertama. West 46 dalam ball position. Yang menarik adalah attempt on target 0 berbanding 3. Nah, 0 berbanding 3 juga ini diimbangi dengan penguasaan bola yang hanya 40% senarai ASRoma 60 dan tidak bisa lihat juga passing dari Ranger kurang dari 200, ASRoma lebih dari 200. Sepertinya Rangers lebih memilih opsi untuk melakukan long ball dan ASRoma lebih memilih untuk melakukan kombinasi play. Kemarin tadi saya bicara peluang yang dimiliki Rangers di babak pertama. Saya melihat 2 peluang yang dimiliki Rangers itu akibat kesalahan dari para pemain ASRoma dan itu tidak mampu dimanfaatkan dengan baik oleh para pemain tuan rumah. Ya, pemain yang jarang bermain di liga seperti Simikas diberi kesempatan pada hari ini, tetapi kita lihat ini justru menjadi salah satu bolong di hingga pertahanan ASRoma. Berapa kali bola dilempar ke arahnya dia ini membuat kesalahan kecil. Oke, sebetulnya secara attacking manusia tadi kita beberapa hari pergerakan Simikas memang mampu merapatkan sisi kanan dari pertahanan Rangers, namun apa yang buat Simkas selalu telat untuk menutup area pertahanannya dia. Kalau saya melihatnya adalah di sistem, karena dia di Liverpool biasa bermain dengan formasi 4 back dan sekarang dia pindah ke ASRoma, dia harus biasa bermain dengan formasi 5-3-5 2, 3, 4, 3 di situ, dan itu menuntut banyak sekali tenaga untuk melakukan overlap, untuk juga melakukan pertahanan, di apalagi menjaga bola-bola diagonal itu harus dilakukan. inspirational anthem near at Eyebrows. But in search of a little more of that particular quality, they turn to the man they acquired through Luton Town in the summer. Jaden Nakona is the player he's going to replace. And up against the Rangers, and at times they haven't made it difficult enough, so Gasparini's visitors. Interesting to see how things change with the introduction of Cello Asgard at the start of his second half, replacing the Jaden Madonna. Creating and in light of a target, the 3 tongues that Mitchell tried now behind Community. So launch Mike Finn, and we'll seek for Thursday now. Finn is up. Shemiti, no skipping in the engineering is well, just can't afford to do that. The picture of the ball, save at Chico in the end. Mikey Bell now being hassled, but question and of acceptability as far as the referee is concerned. Silken touch. Positive turn, but trying to get through a gap that was too small. Now Gasol will pick it up. There's Asgard, and that's the Legion. And it's Moso who had to make a telling done. Well, yeah, it's gonna whatever. Oh, yeah, that's Milan worried momentarily. They're not short of confidence in his own ability. Some energetic pressure from Rangers. It's not paid off here. Cristante trying to feed it through. Their players have an attacking instinct around Chaviti now. And Skymeyer is foraging. So maybe a few different questions. Too definitively now the switch to lead backfield. Asgard threatening again to steal it from Cristante, who regained his composure. The lancing run here from Pellegrini. And Suter Feltina. Luigi. Not going to hurry up again and again, looking to get Chimiti in. The top. Done down the flank, him behind the Burma defence has certainly looked the best avenue for Rangers, who are willing to leave space in behind them. So, sight. Marcel are crazy. There could be something to be exploited. Most so. Well established to get a bit of diagonals to flips between these two particular setups. As Days said, coach of Sheffield Wednesday. Share a 2-1 down where they went to Leeds. I entirely won 100% certain on which way they would go. They would have dared to. Whatever Leeds are going to throw at them. And it starts a bit of forward immediate, then fairly quickly went the other way. So you said, I view a sense of flexibility and a sense of laxity about running back affords Rangers possession factory. Any role would enjoy here is freedom to focus. There were all sorts of things on his desk, but no other head coach in football today would have experienced at any kind of professional level. Pellegrini. Moscow. Terry, like, though he was on paper to Cristante. Doing exactly the same back play, and Rona quickly winning it back. So with that, hey, most so. Pellegrini now, I'd say. Hell, I know it. Cristante. Trying to top that round again. Look menacing, but comfortable Phil Butland in the end. So Tichello getting as far field as he has in a while. Van Baden, sir. There we do either. Cristante. David really popping it through Rasule. And there is Tabani. Estante. Stop at that agreement. And Osa. Rasket. I don't know how to approve its held bit there. There's defense like that. Sheffield Wednesday. It's not till now. The energy. Third time while that the manager such a level being tested such a relative mandate to him. So the story it didn't Rangers player now Sir Alec for the suit when he was manager of Sudner and be costed by Stewart tenants before kick off because they had a leap in arbitrary. And it was his responsibility. Never mind, there was a match. Very shortly upon that. All right. Borderline change of personnel formation. There's not really been any great change in terms of looking like creating chances yet than Rangers. And then Sheedy able to make strides forward again. There is Barron. And Charon's rating progress. Telany. You know, so the trend to get in a difficult situation. But he's now in a position of promise. So it did on Van. Well, that's where the hope resides. But you get in ahead, more gas ever involved at the pit. There could be a touch of inspiration on hand. Chevrolet very much the instigator initially. And a target from the under. On the entrance of the let's bear away. He is very highly regarded indeed. It's already scored for them in the era. And to try to win this competition last season. Energetic presence in one certain little area, slightly greater sense of calm in the other, but he's been a little desperate. It's not the need to be quite as aggressive, but they don't go invite trouble. Jeffson. Just the charge. Hurry. I saw it decent handling by Estrella. Oh, really required the central midfielder getting his front forward as that. Courageous so far in an opening play situation. Check party on the side soon. John Farron square, despite his appeals. There's Tuckerin's carrying the fight to Rona. And Shaviti to Chip. And he has a chance, but again, it ends in frustration for Serbian. Aaron's retrieving it, the referee saying nothing whatsoever. Mancini trying to tuck it back. Seems to be slightly stretching. But to changes. Diamande Chorescat. And so person as Knight has come through then either is Sue's replacement. So Brazilian for the Frenchman. They feel you need the Belgian. Look like Pierce to have on by Shabir. There's no fields whatsoever. Perhaps Tango is new misleading. So going around by Shamiti. Little dynamic to the play. And realistically, don't get a spoon from that. The hay shopper in Sergeant what's going on behind Shaniti as they pivot away. So Giallorossi. Turns to field. Enjoyable trip to Glasgow so far to the gathered ranks of the Italian capital. Right now with the search of optimism, Rangers supporters with a sense of dread that players need to laser focus. Cristante trying to get there once again. Mosa stop the breakout. I thought it was Danny though, finally. And well, we're not quite idling, but certainly in the move to go out through the gears. Not to a few little signs of but quite in his shoe ranges, but I think opening worry. Then speed work by Cristante. Here's a foul by Bellatri, yes, on the Diamante. This should be very certainly. Yeah, that's not going to be pleasant. Down Cristante receiving the running repairs. I know this guy's sitting on it. So there has to be charges of Stefano Sharawi. Tonight, don't sing with you will not be all in the 7 layers of the Gadio in the images so late and played them did anything for it that they did give it serve. These are the key moments as far as where we're concerned. Soon they arriving on track. Pergri's corner Cristante slick on Dolpic's hold-up play and perfectly passed into the corner by Teledridi for 2-0. Shova, Sadan and Tarayon have certain chance for the 2 goal scorers. Suter. The light will by from the sky. This is Daniel. Good football in this by Rangers is now. Let's go. Space opens up. Oh, it's going away. The rapidly Rangers move. Pointed and some confident play by Tello Asgard. This is the perfect finish. Just the positions from me, the Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra. And I'm British parentage. Well, you've possibly mounted them to record in this cage. It does more than they has done. Certainly in manner that the first gone and the beat particularly dangerous. And might have thought hugely better. It's a not chancer. The square pass from Artem Dolbrid. Final quarter of the match here. Sukic getting a very good impression. Alright, now he's cross. How shall I be beaten to you, but Sukic isn't it? I thought that's a goal in it. That's a storage in Seki Chile. But arriving with a goal, seemingly it's mercy. Her her skate, had 9 tons some hope. Incredible incident. Well, there are times when you watch a game of football and you do not believe your eyes, and that was one. Well, to just add to the pain for Snoky Chile, he's hurt. Well, Shirawi didn't get that. I think there's definitely a question over offside there. from Tsimikas, which would assume it knew that. He done it all wrong. And so did Chile. The Rangers emerge unscathed. Unbelievable. How that doesn't end up in the net. I mean, it's developing a Hubbard situation there to actually miss that. Giallorossi, we all hope to provide a sure finishing touch who never remains for Rangers. And Wesley is doing one of their more impressive European performers about to turn on. It's Tsimikas rated. Start. Well, Barron to the ball into high, into it's just escaped Mike Dinu. Done BigMatch. Chimiti. That's God. Well, that's got a decent shape, right? Just trying to pop things. There's Miovski. And they bundle forever in a day, really. If it's not able to score moments ago, there would be like a deal now to give way to Wesley, and then there's a good feeling that squeeze everything through and they make both hand darts going off, so Divine rather should have did beyond the plane. We some make just way on it. Sorry, Westwards. He played on both sides recently. Chuliti takes the move off as well, so that Nionsky, his direct replacement. Find them. Sorry there. No answer. Over there again. That's a bright ball. Over there, played. Did by MatchDay. And Miovski, it's stretching just onto the field. Well, that's constantly with little hope of making contact. It's a good note by Rangers, though. And so, Rangers moments like that. Coming one notion. A lower sense of urgency from Roma, understandably. And Rangers might be sorry some passages of play at the 9. Oh, there, and Tavares ball deserved better, really. Center. But it's breaking a neck to get on the end of it. Actually, he's breaking a push. well, they were held second in terms of the European adventure, which has been a faltering one so far. Neil, they didn't look like scoring at all. The whole need the opportunity they were giving you for your penalty spot. And the tepid, weak performance. No, that's much. Wesley. Hello, Kodak. On Sherratt and Daltbury. He's got Wesley on the hand. And digging out across with his weaker foot. Has been playing on the left so big recently. Where's that showing you? Chiga in the way. Wesley. There's Moso. Now Ndika. El Sharawi. Oh, sure. Wait, Doc, babe. Did he work his shirt to go in? Yes, he could. Button very solidly behind it. Swag. El Sharawi. Who's darting behind Chamber just a little too early. But anything that followed was ultimately irrelevant. It's turned in about MatchDay. Scott. No. That's good. Danny was there. Scott breaking turret by the goalkeeper. Well, they cut it open. And it was Mikey Moore who did so. And then hoping to guide it beyond the goalkeeper, thought his angle was right. Wesley. Look up, fully adult thing. And Utone, that's a good move from Wesley. Up with him. The mine it's safe. Jack Butland. Herthahan finds his way out of a potentially difficult situation, but no, don't get hold of him. Go there. First European champion. And his debut in the match against Neil. Oh, Dicker can surge forward. The score, Unico de Zur against Nice. And a little cavalier charge on the banks of the Clyde. Sid. Moving in his penalizer. Hermosa. Chono. Crunchy Cristante could be interesting here. Tamadir. Pull the Bahrain. Dim there. Suta. Tuna by Muscat. Now, Mighty Moore. Fed well by Danilo. But now shows well by Wesley. I have to say, they look a better side with him in it. He's had a very busy year. That's one that's never felt really. Rangers replace young, burgeoning young talent with another. Mighty no replaced by Finley Cantor. He's done him at the outrageous since the age of 6. No, they produced talent. That Tony was over the shaking arch. Suter hated of a tree. This is Bahan. Tated to Harry aware. There were just too many Roma shirts already. Machini. El Sharawi. He's got support. Now we're providing that. But some of the momentum lost. The Cristante. Out there by Evans. Now Shamali perhaps expecting the whistle to blow. O'Connor. And Trini. And stepping into mid-shelled. I know. Roma's next assignment at home to MatchDay, and then they return to this facility to face Celtic. Stuttgart will provide a significant test their final home game at the league stage before they head to Panathinaikos. Rangers staring at a poor successive defeat, and a successive defeat anyway for competition. First and Spooting and Baraka go to Hungary to play penance finalists and then host the Bulgarians of Ludogorets. They're a tall tone. What you're fun to do. To the sleeve or foot now looks an inevitable defeat. And things can change quickly. Malikode. And those shot. Dietrich, the treaty now retreating. Thought has been as usual. El Sharawi, Dope, Malikode, and tired to Wesley. And Malikode will take it on there and get behind Tavernier. He'll track back again. Wesley. Cristante was arriving with urgency. Just sticking the toes down a little on the accelerator there, Roma. Now just about some good moments in this second period, but you and on Reese here thinking a repinal is on the cards. Wesley. We're just thinking about using another substitution window. Fun one. Just game. But penalised. So Döthbeck to needless. And the lead for the Gisili is the player to come home. Stanton. Saying they way through the Roma ranks. Having turned no one has competition against Torto last season. Ren. And I now eat. It's a Ren. Emoso. Hayachone. El Sharawi. Wesley. That's on his backside in the penalty here. And that's solid. That's on and just simply hits up. Gisili and I know we and wait for it to Budonese and then that's the league engagement. Then Spark Dundee, next assignment for the Rangers. No Sharawi. Suter. And the skirmish there between Curtis and Wesley. And two fellas from the touchline. It's a power that's guarded by Ren. Savanier. Curtis. Oh, set shot by Danilahu. And the Curtists so tried to do alone too much there, but the ball dips all the way up Danilahu. But it's not been a major test for Svilla. And that has led to a fair number of the London faces appearing around the stadium and now disappearing out of it. It's a game that has gone without their three troop having to go to his pocket for a card. Depp might have tempted him and has decided against it. It's easy being green. Not easy being blue tonight. Still usually let a little dressed in green in here with the comes a word or two. Man, the treasures to be involved in another sense on, and also not backing up. The 3 minutes for Roma to surely smoothly negotiate here. In Sieg would be a welcome addition. Kept one in the EuropeLeague, it's so hard. They push. Cristante's foot in his facility. Don't looseness of that. And then it's presented an opportunity to El Shaarawy. But an off battering and found that on the Trinidad anywhere. To Israeli if it goes behind. Well, trouble they're making once again. A little bit of misfiltured in Terminator lose of his footing. And Barron relieved to see that one go behind. Well, their next visit to Glasgow would be as enjoyable. That's for another day. Still business to attend to here. And to defend it better in that set piece. And John Suter playing his part in there. So sort of a step in the right direction. I'd say the early performances so far in this competition have not lived up to the status as one of the tournament favourites that they have enjoyed coming into the competition. Routine really for Gianpiero Gasparini. Penrova and away from the troubles at home in the competition, they chalk up a second away victory. And it wasn't really in doubt. They capitalised on a Larezia Pros. Everything you're killing up, but there's nothing else. But said it's at the end of the second.